In this video, we're going to look at simple comparisons, which are the beginning of the way that we can start asking the computer a question about something and getting a meaningful answer back. So the first thing we're going to look at is equality, and that is knowing whether something is the same as something else. So we can start out by something really easy. We're going to ask if 1 is the same as 1. And we're using 3 equal signs to do this. This operator will test whether the object on the left is identical to the thing on the right. And it returns true. Indeed, that's just what we expect. There is a similar operator that asks whether this is not identical to that. And to do that, you just substitute that first equal sign for an exclamation mark. So in this case, we're asking, is 1 not identical to 1? And we would expect the answer would be false. And indeed it is. We can also get true from that if we put something that is in fact different. So 1 is not identical to 2. That is true. And likewise, if we change this back to the equality operator, we get false from that. Okay, so we're starting to ask some questions and we're starting to get some answers. There's a variation on this 3 equals and exclamation point 2 equals business that you'll see a lot in programs out in the wild, and that is a version using only 2 characters in the operator. So, like this. So this way of expressing this statement is kind of like saying, is this pretty much like this thing? And of course, the answer here is still true because they are exactly the same. The tricky thing about this version is that testing a number against a string can give you true. Whereas if we use the 3 equal sign version, we get false. And generally speaking, and in most cases, this is the kind of behavior that we should expect. The actual names of these operators are strict equal, and strict not equal. And likewise, there is a not equal. So there we go. As far as JavaScript is concerned, for the purpose of this operator, these are pretty much the same. The particulars of which kinds of values will return true or false with respect to this inequality and this equality operator are a little bit too detailed to go into, especially for people who are just starting out. But there are references available. In the meantime, when you're writing your own code, I think it's generally best to use the 3 equals and the exclamation mark and 2 equals version when testing for equality. There may be times when you find that using this version is also appropriate, but when possible, use this. Okay, so we've looked at equality. There are a few others as well, and these are straight out of your math class. So we can ask whether 1 is less than 2. And indeed, that is true. And then we can say, is 1 greater than 2? And we get false from that. We can also ask a combination of greater than and equals, or less than and equals. So that's phrased like this. It's just the same angle brace followed by an equal sign. So now we're asking, is 1 less than or equal to 2? And we get the same value. Likewise, we can ask, is 1 less than or equal to 1? The answer is true because 1 is equal to 1. And then we can ask, is 1 greater than or equal to 2? And the answer, of course, is no. But we can ask whether 10 is greater than or equal to 2, and the answer is true. So we have equality, and then we have the greater than and less than and greater than or equal to versions of things. And that pretty much sums up the simple comparisons that we can do in JavaScript. So we can test equality, and we can test magnitude.